just thought I'd show you these results because I'm not sort of the person who saves all my measurements. I just kind of move on. But these are near field, open baffle, and when I say near field, I mean the mic was suspended, like almost touching, and I'll go through them, the positioning and the results. So first off, we had almost touching the cone, and here I've lined up the bulk of the speaker's intended range. It's like a mid-bass 60 to 1K with questionable results after that. And so we have middle of the dust cap, and then the next measurement, let's see, magnitude is a phase. This is halfway on the dust cap to the voice coil. I'll just double check that. I didn't write anything. And as you can see, nothing changes here, and then things start changing as the wavelengths get shorter. And here is the edge of the cone. So this is like way out here. So dust cap, halfway, edge of cone. And from the edge of the cone's perspective, you're seeing maybe the influence of just one radiating surface more than when you're in the middle. You're seeing the influence of the middle and every other radiating surface. So when you measure from the edge of the actual cone, you're getting a more pleasant phase experience, and maybe it's even reflected here in the magnitude, blue being edge of cone. And next one I did was measuring on the edge of the rubber surround. So the microphone's basically where my finger would be, almost touching, and see just the magnitude dropping off and nothing much changing, and you're a bit further away from the chaos there. But yeah, all this is the same. And then I did same speaker, same situation, but with the microphone 20 centimeters away. I didn't time this exactly to line up with this, which I should have. But as you can see, as the waves start to propagate and bounce into each other, and the actual phase graph itself, it's still pretty wiggly and all, but more wiggly. See, this dot is not here, this dot is not here, this dot is not here. So the capability of the phase tracing and the room start to become involved. 30 centimeters, this dip becomes a trough and things like that. So you're getting more room, but you are getting this blended slope happening through this flat area of the phase. 60 centimeters, and can't help but in this room, in this environment with all these other objects, can't really read anything into that. And so this yellow line is more like what we measure when we're in a car. So that's why I'm just doing these theoretical near field measurements, just to see what kind of slopes we're dealing with speaker cones. And if you're using this mid bass from 100 to 900, you'd say, yeah, pretty phase direct, phase coherent. And here you can see that the magnitude's not really rolling off below 100 until it starts getting to 60, and then it starts to roll off, and yet the phase is actually starting to curve away like it's a low pass phase happening without the magnitude roll off happening. So you could say there's an aberration of maybe 60 degrees or more by the time you get to your 40 hertz, 60 hertz. But in practice, when I tune my mid bass to my sub or my that sort of area, because that's the only time I'm talking about here, I would be listening for the best summation through that area. So the only thing would be if I was to include this driver's phase response in my theoretical all pass corrected crossover system. It's probably the only time I'd use it, is I would end up with this in my calculated electrical crossovers instead of this, and therefore you wouldn't get this slowly tearing apart. Maybe that's the only time I'd use it, but everywhere else it's going to probably be a bit of a crapshoot. But I don't have that data here, so that was just a quick look at near field on an 8-inch in free air. You could say open baffle. I might as well just turn this on while I'm here. And I just found a little sealed cabinet down here. It's like a little, maybe 8 litre box. As you can see, this is a much different phase response as soon as you start putting a sealed object like that into the equation.